The 1961 Jaguar E-Type stands as one of the most iconic and revered automobiles ever built, blending striking design, incredible performance, and a revolutionary engineering approach. Upon its debut in March 1961 at the Geneva Motor Show, it left the automotive world in awe. Car enthusiasts, journalists, and the general public were captivated not only by its sheer beauty, but also by its technical sophistication and affordability compared to other high-performance cars of the era. Its ability to fuse performance and design so seamlessly made it a groundbreaking vehicle, and its influence continues to resonate in the world of sports cars today. The E-Type's design was the brainchild of Malcolm Sayer, Jaguar's chief aerodynamicist, and it was nothing short of revolutionary. Sayer, who had a background in aircraft design, applied his knowledge of aerodynamics to create a car that was both visually stunning and highly efficient. The E-Type's body was long and low, with smooth curves and a graceful stance that made it appear as though it were moving even when stationary. Its fluid lines were not just for looks. Every curve and detail served a functional purpose, reducing drag and enhancing the car's overall performance. The overall shape of the E-Type was heavily influenced by the success of Jaguar's D-Type racing car, which had won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 times in the late 1950s. Sayer's design allowed the E-Type to cut through the air more efficiently than any other road car of the time. The long sweeping bonnet, wide rear haunches and short sculpted rear end gave the car a sense of speed and grace that was unparalleled. The fact that it was so beautiful that it would go on to be displayed in the Museum of Modern Art in New York only solidified its status as an artistic masterpiece. While its design was striking, the 1961 Jaguar E-Type's performance was equally impressive. Under the hood, the car featured a 3.8-litre inline-six engine that produced around 265 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. This engine, mated to a 4-speed manual gearbox, enabled the E-Type to achieve top speeds in excess of 150 miles per hour, a remarkable figure for a car of its time. Acceleration was equally impressive, with the car able to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 6 seconds, a blistering pace for the early 1960s. The E-Type's engine was capable of reaching such high speeds thanks to its relatively low curb weight. Weighing just under 2,400 pounds, the E-Type was significantly lighter than many of its contemporaries, giving it a performance advantage that it carried through corners and on the open road. The car's high-performance capabilities were also supported by its sophisticated suspension system, which included independent rear suspension and torsion bar front suspension. This setup allowed for a much smoother and more controlled ride compared to the leaf-sprung rear axles used in many of the era's cars, contributing to the E-Type's legendary handling. The interior of the 1961 Jaguar E-Type was a combination of minimalism and luxury. The cabin was designed with a focus on driving experience, offering a low-slung, almost cockpit-like feel, placing the driver in direct contact with the car's performance. The dashboard was simple yet elegant, featuring toggle switches and dials that were easy to reach and intuitive to use. The materials used throughout the cabin, including leather upholstery, wood trim and metal accents, gave the E-Type a distinctly refined atmosphere. The seats were well padded and supportive, providing a comfortable driving position even during long journeys. The steering wheel was large and spoke to the E-Type's vintage character, yet it felt responsive when turned. The Roadster version, in particular, offered an open-air experience that connected the driver to the environment, further enhancing the visceral experience of driving. When the 1961 Jaguar E-Type hit the market, it did so with a competitive price tag. Priced around $6,000 in the United States, it was considerably more affordable than rivals like the Ferrari 250 GT, making high-performance driving accessible to a larger audience. This pricing strategy helped cement the E-Type's place in history as one of the best value-for-money sports cars ever built. It offered the performance and allure of much more expensive European sports cars, but at a fraction of the cost. The E-Type's influence was not confined to performance and design. It also marked a significant milestone in Jaguar's histoary. Jaguar, previously known for producing luxury sedans and saloon cars, now had a true world-class sports car in its lineup. This was a turning point for the brand, elevating it into a global icon. The E-Type's success in motorsport further solidified its credentials as a high-performance car, with victories in various racing events throughout the 1960s. In the years that followed, the E-Type would go through several updates and revisions, but the 1961 model remains the purest expression of the original vision. It is widely regarded as one of the greatest cars ever made, a masterpiece of design, engineering, and driving dynamics.